We are starting off on Triton in the bottom right. As the red Zerg, he is Dark.
And in the upper left-hand side, our blue Terran player, apparently TY's teacher. This is special.
That looks like a fact to me, right?
Yeah.
That's not meme or anything.
No, it's completely true.
Yeah, absolutely.
TY has to report to special school 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, at least.
Want to phrase it like that?
No, maybe not.
Yeah, and TY also is one of those guys that also we just know as like what we love so much about TY is actually his builds, even though like everything else is also great. And special can certainly be that very same way. There's also a very interesting discussion around TvZ leading up to IEM, during IEM, like the whole mech versus bio argument and the idea of Korean Terrans versus the foreigner Terrans, which special is like, he truly is a special case. Like, which one is he?
Yeah, he's that somewhat in between. What's so scary about Special usually when he goes to events is that he's been in Korea hiding and no one knows how he's going to play, and he comes out with a whole new play style. But obviously in this event he has been in Korea, and they've got Koreans in this event too, which can maybe cause some problems for his preparation. It's kind of interesting because even TvZ, what do you pick, is sort of a hot topic, right? Because Cyril in an interview, for example, said, I don't know how you beat mech, and yet which Terran has played mech in TvZ lately? They keep playing bio, so there must be something that the Terrans feel they want to play bio for.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some like very detailed, nuanced thing, but I'm just going to go with they don't want to play versus Swarm host. Like, I can beat it, but I just don't want to. Like,
Does anyone want to play
versus
Swarm?
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a fun time. They want to be considerate to the tournament as well and not have hour-long games. Like, thank you very much.
They want to give us the epic TvZ of old, which is kind of what we've been seeing, expecting a lot of just bio versus Lingbane meter in this match, or at the very least Lingbane heavy, because Dark is that kind of guy who will play very aggressive, fast styles that can move around the map quickly, counter-attacking and all of that good stuff. As from the start here, Special will start up a second gas, so no fast 3cc. Will be looking for at least a starport early game.
And Triton is one of those maps where I do anticipate the bio play just because of the way you can attack from that third base, but you know, these other maps that we don't necessarily expect, and then we still see it. You know, again, the weird choice of bio versus mech. But that's what I would expect from Special. We do have some 3cc builds off this map, actually. I mean, this is the map that Seoul did that. I know I'm going back a little ways, but Seoul did that pretty sick push, you know, extreme greed, and it actually worked out. But then it's like, it's Dark, you know, like this guy's scary in the early game, he'll cheese you all in you. He's scary in the mid game, he'll just go for a big old bust, and he's scary in the late game as well. He's just generally very scary.
Well, Dark's had this attitude towards foreign players as well, right, where he's just like, oh, you're not worth my time. I'm just going to bust you and kill you now. And in that regard, he is very scary to play against, and that's maybe why you get this starport up early here as Special. We've seen a lot of Cloak Banshee players from Special in other matchups, and of course, Hellion Banshee is a tried and tested way to open in TvZ as well. Let's see what comes off the starport as that's just finished up, and for the moment, nothing at all. A Viking to start us.
Okay, so Tech Lab after that Marine, maybe?
He actually did go pretty fast 3rd CC off of double gas, right? So
yeah,
that's a little bit unique in itself. It's not like one gas 3cc, but then he slowed down production elsewhere, maybe even just mined 2 workers on each gas, and still got the third pretty quick. So actually, it is just pretty defensive into bio.
Yeah, and you know, it might look very odd to Dark, who can actually scout the front of Special's wall, and you usually see a 3rd CC there. Basically 9 times out of 10, unless it's a fast 3rd CC, and then it does go into the main. So maybe I'm expecting the Viking, if this is what he's seen so far, but there it is, to push that away. Dark not type of Zerg, apparently, to get that Overlord speed. Yeah, I mean, you still want to try and get as much information as possible here, even seeing if the factory is still making Hellions can be a very important scout, but he doesn't even see that.
He does not, and as he starts up a few roaches here, Dark already just pretty safe, right? You know, it's that sort of time where, you know, if this was a Hellbat attack or so, maybe you get something done. 6 roaches maybe can move across the map in this scenario as well. There's no Banshee, etc. So if he feels as though he can get across without Hellions running by, maybe there's some hope from there. I mean, it's not like he needs to do damage with these. He is just drawing right now quite nicely. And Special is just going into that Liberate as his second starport unit.
So he's going to swap his barracks off that Tech Lab and then the factory onto it, I suppose?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like it's...
Oh, he made a mistake. That's all right. That happens.
Yeah, he's just, maybe he was just playing with the idea of what he wanted to do next. He's actually going to go for another Liberator, which is very interesting, because that's a lot of gas investment early. Like one Liberator, usually I'm like, okay, that makes sense, as this is just going to be a few roaches showing up. Like I mentioned, they can go across the map, but actually, all the Hellions here, a couple Marines joined with the Reaper, and they're going to be able to push this back.
I mean, the faster tank that he was thinking about getting would have certainly helped against this, but then realizing it really wasn't that committed, and it really wasn't. He's going to go for just the, primarily a Hellion defense. The Liberator wants to get on the action, but this is going to be the dangerous part of using your Hellions against the Roaches. They might eventually take it down, but then what if they actually do have Lings behind it? And just a couple of Lings, a handful of Lings, suddenly made that look just a little bit scarier, but ultimately not so much. He's going to go ahead and pull the SCVs. Again, nothing that would actually, nothing that Dark can't run away from, right? Like, those Liberators are trying so hard to be helpful, but it really is just the Hellions slowly taking out those Roaches. Dark gets a little bit of panic set in, gets 4 SCVs, takes out some Hellions and future Hellbats out of the equation, messes special build-up just a little bit with that whole factory thing, and gets a bit of a scout.
Yeah, and I even think the 2 Liberators is somewhat of a response as well, right? Just a bit more safety, a bit more firepower in case this is continued unit production, so it is definitely throwing Special away from where he wants to be. But overall, Special still has a nice fast 1-1, a little bit faster than the Zerg. Dark gonna play Roach upgrades, which I really... It's just not what you see a lot of now, and he might just go +1 missiles and then switch to melee after missile +1. But if he sticks to missiles, that's going to be very interesting. But even early on like this, because usually if you go Roaches, you're going for like a Roach 1-1 timing initially, or it's against mech, and this is just a bit of a unique way of playing against Bio that kind of was a thing in the past, but not so much anymore.
I mean, that actually sums it up pretty perfectly. It was that it was a thing, and then I feel like it was just so obvious at one point.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he's going Roaches, I guess.
Yeah, just going to build tanks. I'm just going to pull my SCVs if he all-ins me.
Yeah, exactly. But then to bring it back, especially on that map Triton, like, I talk about the bio push, it is a little bit different, or a lot different, when you're not considering lane baneling, but rather actual investment into Roaches. So he doesn't see the Roaches, the continuous Roach production, he didn't see the Roach Warren Jiggly, but he did see the Roaches, and I think Dark, to me, has always been a Roach player, like, more so than anything else. And I wonder if Special, who's been on that Korean ladder, who, like, studies with the Koreans, would at all anticipate this. He's still going to do the drop. These Liberators have been failing so far in the harassment, but they're now trying to pull something out of position. Scan reveals those Roaches. Doesn't get much peep spread. You
see this many Roaches, and I think especially you just know you got to be a little bit careful here. This Liberator gets Corrosive Bile, is going to try and dodge it, but it does go down. The issue is, right, if Special realizes these Roaches are here, this is a big Roach burst, right? There's no follow-up, there's some Lings being made, but there's no Baneling Nest, etc. Yeah, he's got 72 drones, but he's going to attack. Special's already been building tanks from the early game, and he will just keep on building tanks, and it comes down to a bit of positioning. I do think maybe you have to pull the SCVs here to survive, but if you do, it can be pretty good.
I don't know about the start. The tank is going to be something he can't Corrosive Bile, but Special trying to take the fight ahead of his tank so that it's not just instantly pounced upon. That's a good start, but that can only happen for so long. Ling's looking to maybe go into the natural, even actually a wraparound on those Marines or on top of the tanks would not be bad. Take away the fire from the incoming Roach numbers. The third tank just popped out. Where is he going to place that? Because that'll often be the most important thing about this. The Roaches come in, the Lings do come from behind. They're not actually going to take the tank fire, but now they're confusing everything as Special gets overwhelmed.
Absolutely wiped out, and as the Roach Ravager keeps pushing through, there's still even Zerglings in front. New Siege tank will not last very long at all, and that is game as Dark picks up the first